everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be working on a sock monkey hat. Now these are normally made white, red, and gray, but you can switch it up. You can do this in like a variegated color, like a variegated purple for example, and then do a solid purple on the bottom. You can mix it up. This is a blue one and a purple one that I've made. Also, the buttons, you can match the buttons. You don't always have to use the black buttons. This one I did use black buttons. This one I used dark purple buttons. It's all up to you. But today we are going to be working on a regular one. So we're just going to do the gray, white, and red. You're going to need a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and 2 buttons. I'm using 2 black buttons, red yarn, gray yarn, and white yarn. And this pattern is going to be for 12 to 24 months. So let's get started. So with your crochet hook, you're going to grab your white yarn and you're going to make a slip knot. You're going to wrap your yarn around your 2 fingers like that and make an X, go under the bottom one, and grab the top one and pull through. And that's a slip knot, and just pull to tighten. Now you're going to chain 5, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to go into this first one, grab your yarn, pull through and through to slip stitch to join. So now you're going to have a circle in the center, and that's where we're going to be working all our stitches. We're going to chain 2. That counts as your first double crochet. And now we need to place 9 more double crochets into the center for a total of 10. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So for the first row, I like to count back just to make sure that all my counts from here on out will be right. So just count back 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You want to go into that 10th stitch, grab your yarn, pull through and through. And then you can pull this tight and that closes up that hole. Now for round 2, you're going to chain up 2 and you're going to place a double crochet into that same space as your chain up 1, or chain up 2, I mean. So now you have 2 double crochets into that space. In the next stitch, you're going to place 2 double crochets. And then in every other stitch around, 2 double crochets in every single one. When I'm done, I'll come back and we will move on to round 3. Okay, we are at the end of round 2, and I'm just going to go right into the top of this stitch right here, and I'm going to slip stitch to join. And then I'm going to chain 2. Now for round 3, you're going to chain up your 2 and then go into that same chain up space and put a double crochet, and that counts as 2 double crochets. In your next one, you're going to put 1 double crochet, and then in your next one you're going to do 2 double crochets into the 1 stitch. In your next one, 1 double crochet, and then in your next one, 2 double crochets. So just follow that pattern all the way around. One thing to note when you are making these hats, when you're doing your increase rounds, you want to make sure that your last stitch on each round when you're increasing is an increase. So that means every single row while you're increasing, the last stitch should always have 2 double crochets. If it doesn't, then you've gone wrong somewhere. So sometimes it's easier for people to count the whole way through as they're making their hats. And if that helps, go for it. So I'm going to continue this and I'll come back when this row is done. Okay, I'm at my last stitch and I've put 2 double crochets into that space. And then we are just going to slip stitch to join at the very top of that first stitch, just like that. And then for round 4, we're going to chain up 2. We're going to put a double crochet into that same chain up space. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet and then 1 double crochet. And then in the next one, we're going to place 2 double crochets. Okay, so then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 2 double crochets. So just follow that pattern all the way around, and I'll come back and we will move on to round 5. Round 5 is the final increase round for this size hat. Okay, we are at the end of round 4. We're going to go into this stitch right here and we're going to slip stitch to join. And now for the final increase round, we're going to chain up 2. We're going to place a double crochet into that same chain up space. And then we're going to, in the next 3 stitches, we're just going to put 1 double crochet in each one. And then in the next one, we're going to do 2 double crochets into that space. And by now you can kind of see the pattern of the increasing. And then in your next 3 stitches, we're just going to place 1 double crochet in each one. And then in the next one, 2 double crochets. Okay, so just follow that pattern the entire way around. So I will come back when we're ready to change colors and move on to the next round. Alright, so we're going to be changing colors here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into this stitch, almost like we're going to slip stitch, but we are going to just leave the hook like that. We're going to cut some of that yarn. You don't need to leave very much. And we're going to get our red yarn. And then we're just going to take the end of the yarn, we're going to wrap it over the hook, pull it through and through. Now, you're going to pull everything tight. If I can get these 2 ends, you're going to grab your 2 ends and you're just going to, while your hook is sitting in there, you're just going to tie it. And I tie it 3 times to make it nice and snug. Don't pull too hard because your yarn will break if you do. You want to get it tight without breaking it. Okay, and now I'm just going to cut these. This is how I do it. You can sew them in if that's what you're used to, but I don't do it. None of my hats fall apart, so it's just a lot less time consuming this way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, this is round 6, we're just going to chain up 2. And then we're going to put a double crochet into that same space as the chain up. And then every stitch around, you're going to place 1 double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to continue this. I'll come back when we're done and we will be changing color again after this round. Alright, so we are finished round 6. We're going to go in to the top of that stitch just like that because we're going to be changing colors. We're just going to cut that red yarn. Now grab your gray yarn and attach it the same way. Just wrap it over the hook and pull through and through. Now I'm going to leave my hook like this. Where's the other end? There we go. And again, I'm just going to tie these. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Just like this. And I tie it 3 times and just snip that off. Oh. Okay, so now we are on round 7. We're going to chain up 2. We're going to place a double crochet into that same chain up space. And then we're going to just do 1 double crochet in every stitch around. And we are going to do this for rounds 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. You're going to repeat this exact same thing. The only thing to remember, always, 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 every single time you start a round, you're going to chain up your 2 and always put another double crochet into that chain up space. Otherwise, you're going to have gaps along the seam, and we don't want to have gaps. So again, rounds 7 to 12. You're going to do this, and then we're going to come back and we're going to move on to the final round, round 13. All right, so we are at the end of round 12. We're just going to slip stitch to join. And now this is our final round. We're going to chain up 1. We're going to put a single crochet into the same chain up space, and then a single crochet in every stitch around. This just adds a nice detail to the bottom of the hat. So I'm going to continue this. I'll come back when I'm done and we will move on to the ears, the eyes, and the mouth. Okay, we are at the end of round 13. We're just going to slip stitch to the top of that stitch right there to join. And then you're going to wrap your yarn around one more time and pull through a little bit of yarn. And then just cut that. Okay. Now the way I get rid of this tail is I split it in half. Like it's 4-ply yarn, so 2 pieces and 2 pieces. And then just put my hook through, grab one side and pull that through. And then I just tie it a few times. Okay. And then just cut that off. So here's your hat. All right, now we need to work on the ears and the mouth. So we'll do the ears first because I still have the gray yarn right here. And all you're going to do for that is you're going to use the same hook that you've been using. You're going to make a slip knot and then chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're going to join to that first chain and pull through. And we're going to work our stitches into the circle. So chain 2 and then place 11 more double crochets into the center for a total of 12 because that chain up counts as 1. So here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and then we're going to join to the top of this chain right here. Oh, right here. And then pull your yarn through and through. And now grab your yarn again and yarn over and pull through and leave yourself some yarn so that you can sew on the ear. Now you can pause and rewind if you need to, because you need 2 of these. Just pull this tight and then take the smaller tail and pull that tight as well. And that pulls everything together. Now what I do to get rid of this smaller tail is I tie it, but I kind of bring my knot to the edge of the ear. Just like that. 2 or 3 times is good. And then I just cut that smaller tail. So that's how I get rid of that. So I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to go off camera and make another ear. And then when I come back, we'll put it all together. Okay, so now we need to make our mouth. So with our red yarn and the same hook, we're going to make a slip knot. And now we are going to chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now in your second chain from hook, so not this one, but this one, we're going to place a single crochet and then a single crochet in each one across. Just like that. Almost at the end. And then when we get to the end, we're going to be changing colors to white. Okay, so what I do is I just yarn over and pull through a little bit of that yarn and cut that. And then I'm going to take these 2 ends and I'm just going to tie them, but you don't want to do it too tight. You just kind of want to pull them together a little, just like that. Okay. My magic number for tying it is 3. Just hold everything in good and just cut that yarn. Now you have the center of the mouth. So we're going to get our white yarn now. And we are going to start right here. Doesn't matter really where you start, but put your hook through one of the stitches and pull that yarn through. Chain up 2, place a half double crochet into that space, and then in your next one a half double crochet, and now we are at the corner, so we want to put a second half double crochet into there, and then we'll move on to this little space here. We're going to put 2 half double crochets into that space. And then we're on the other corner, so 2 half double crochets into that space, and then 1 half double crochet all the way across. Okay, half double crochet. We're almost at the corner. Okay, so now these next 3 spots we're going to increase. So we need to put 2 half double crochets into this stitch, 2 half double crochets at the end, and then 2 half double crochets in this corner, just like that. And then the rest of them are just 1 half double crochet in each. This yarn keeps bunching up on me. Okay, and now we're at the last one, half double crochet, and then we just need to slip stitch to the top of that stitch to join, and then there's the mouth. So now yarn over and pull through a good amount of yarn so that you have enough to sew. Cut the yarn and pull that through, and then just pull tight. Okay, just like that. So now I've already put one of the ears on. The mouth is going to go here. I'm going to take this smaller tail and I'm going to pull it through one of these stitches. And I'll show you why I do that after. Okay, so place the mouth on there where you want it. Get your yarn needle. Oh. I don't know why my yarn needle never wants to work with the white yarn. Alright, so there we go. So once you have it where you want it, you're just going to pick it up and then just simply go back and forth just like that until it's all the way sewed around. Try to keep it as straight as possible. Okay. And you don't have to be fussy with it, just go in wherever you can. And just make sure that when you're sewing this on, you want it tight, but you don't want it too tight, because you still want to keep the integrity of the hat. Like, you still want it to be stretchy, right? So just continue to do that. Okay, so I'm at the end. And now I'm going to just stick the needle in and go into the back. And this is why I pulled that smaller piece through, so that I can tie these two pieces together. Again, not too tight, but you want to get it nice, and you want the knot snug, but you don't want to you know, pull it together so it's like scrunched up. So anyway, once that's tied 2 or 3 times, just snip that off. Okay, so there's the mouth. Now the ear, I'm just going to get this onto my yarn needle. Okay, and then the front, there's the back where we cut that other piece off, so we want to keep that in the back. And you're just going to want to line it up so that it's within these 2 gray rows right here. So you want to do the same thing on this side. So what I do is I just go to the top of that and I just go through, and then I'll go through the ear part, and then I'll go through again down here on the actual hat. Okay, and then go through the ear again, and then one more time, and then through the ear, and then go back up into the center and just sew that on. And then you're going to take your needle and just go down through the ear and then through the hat, and then pull your yarn to the inside. And now what I did, well, I don't know if I did it yet on that side or not, but I'm just going to split these in 2 sections, if it'll let me. And then I'm just going to go through somewhere right here and pull that side through and tie it a few times. Again, you can sew all this stuff in if you want to. Okay, so tie that a few times and then snip that off. Okay, so do that for both sides. And there's your ears. And now for your eyes, you're just going to cut some black yarn and just sew them on. All right, so just cut 2 strips of black yarn. Thread it onto your needle. And then just place your eyes where you want them. And then go through. Pull through a little, not all the way because you need something to tie to. Okay, so there's that side, and then go up through this side. Okay, pull snugly. And then just take these 2 pieces and tie them together. Okay. So again, you're going to do that again for this side, but you get the gist of it. You don't have to watch me put on another eye. And then there's your hat. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.